You put your right hand in, you put your left tit out. You do the hokey pokey, shake your tits about. All right, it's Saturday. Let's have some fun. We're covering young Gerbert here once again. This one goes, young men are giving up. The doomer negativity spiral. Oh, we can't be having none of this nonsense on a Saturday. I got brunch after this. Let's blow this bad boy up. We're going to have to run it back. This guy's always a good time. All right, Gerbert Johnson, everybody.
Topic of today's video is how do you keep going? Obviously, I don't know anything about you, only a front you put on social media, but you seem to struggle with the same things we're all struggling with. No hoes, meaningful relationships, no money, bad economy, whatever. And obviously, you could work really hard and keep trying to eventually get these things that we want, but why? I think I've noticed that honestly, not trying might be better than trying. I'm not even crazy depressed or anything, but am I the only one that thinks if I don't wake up tomorrow, I wouldn't care or mind? I might.
Jesus Christ. I don't want to just cut him off like I always do, but I'm going to do it anyways. It's Saturday, baby. Line them up. The whole not trying thing, there's actually some truth to that. Like with what I'm doing here, right? Talking on the internet for money. I have noticed, if you've been following me for a long time, I have noticed that when I put a bunch of effort into trying to make a video, it could do really well or it could do okay, but I've noticed that lately, if I just do something like this, where I just show up and I go, yeah, and I just snap into a Slim Jim and I just go, and it's just real simple, like me just commentating on this guy's video, I have noticed, which is a level of not trying. There's a level of trying there. Let's not bullshit each other. But I have noticed that the not trying ones, actually do better than when I give a shit. It's kind of funny. I just wanted to bring that up. And I've been embracing that, and I've been going full steam ahead.
Might even be relieved. The concept of death doesn't scare me. It's kind of relieving.
Oh, Jesus.
Why put all that effort in when it probably won't even be that satisfying anyways? Maybe sometimes the best solution really is to just give up. Maybe you got something to say to that, make a video on this. Well, have you ever tried maybe working on yourself? Going to the gym? Have you ever tried going to the gym, bro? Have you tried taking a cold shower, taking zinc supplements?
Yeah.
Going to Thailand, getting rubbed off? No, I'm just joshing around. I get messages like this on occasion. And to start with, I'll tell you, I totally get it. This generation has been rug pulled. The world we were prepared for, that we expected to inherit, no longer exists. We find ourselves in a desert of economic and social dating opportunities. No bitches, no paper, and no hope.
Zero hoes. That's the worst. Oh, talk about no money. I had a woman recently go, yeah, I haven't had sex in 6 months. And I was like, what? That's rookie numbers, sister. Yeah, rookie.
Such seems to be the standard for the economically inviable excess Gen Z man. I spent the bulk of my time making content on both of my channels talking about this stuff. It's just all about Gen Z problems, particularly Gen Z men problem. There is truth to this situation. And when you ask, how do you...
It's funny because most of the problems he's about to bring up, it's actually like almost every generation. Besides, like, if you're grandfather status. 60 and up kind of doesn't apply. But a lot of them get it. I talk to these people. I just talked to a 62-year-old dude this morning. Worked his whole life, planned for retirement. And his wife passes away. In other words, you can't plan for the future perfectly. And pray for him. He's a good friend of mine and just a great dude. But I'm not saying people don't get it, is what I'm trying to get at. There are older people who see somebody like this, or me, I'm 35, I'm like 15 years older than this guy. But it's the same, it's borderline same shit. What it's like to be young, though. Oh, a healthy level of just not care, just who gives a shit. Miss that.
You keep going, and when you say you think maybe giving up might be a good idea, I will tell you there was a certain point immersed in all of this where I did kind of give up. I reached the bottom of the dark doom black pill ideas, and eventually it did start to color my perception of everything. Now, in my case, it wasn't a conscious decision to give up. I just gradually became more disillusioned and apathetic. This is something the viewer might be able to track just by looking at the course of my channels. I started making videos when I was 16 or 17, I think.
Young kid.
And when I look back, I do have more of a glimmer in my eye. The videos had more of a self-improvement tinge. One of the first videos on this channel is something to the effect of reading out my goals. I had this whiteboard where I would write out my goals. I can't remember what they were exactly. I'm pretty sure they're different now, but I didn't end up accomplishing them or working much towards them. But I became increasingly disillusioned by all of this self-improvement stuff as well. It just seemed like a sort of red pill marketing tactic. It seemed to be endless, hard competition for increasingly dwindling results. The only motivation or hope for the future my mind would conjure up would be these sporadic daydreams that did not.
Real quick, I don't know about you guys, but if you're anywhere near my age, 35 or up, or when I was hit 20 years old, no way, dude. I was like, yo, are we going skateboarding or what? Like, yo, you gonna pass that? Take a hit, dude. Who wants some of this? John? Wake up. Literally. Like, life was, it's crazy because a lot of young kids, and I guess you do have to worry about it. I guess you do. It's just something I was just thinking about. Just so totally different. And then think about this. 30 years before me. Dude, people were 20. They were cops. Full-blown cop with a mustache with 2 kids at 20. Oh, man. Nah, this is fun, man. Got brunch coming up. Lot to look forward to.
Not demonstrate any sort of real.
Also, it is good to have goals, but I'm going to tell you something. I've noticed this with people. Some people don't have any goals. They have nothing written down. But some people have too many goals. One thing I've learned as I gotten older is just have a few goals. So like 3. It's so much easier to just get 3 done. And the crazy part is, usually the goal isn't even really it. It's the journey. It's corny. It's cheesy. But people like corn. And a lot of people like cheese. Guilty.
Intention or plan. It was just like fantasy. The feeling you describe about not caring if you wake up or not is also real. It's a sense of
dark.
Being in limbo. Not really wanting to live, but not actively wanting to not live. But it's all good, dog. That's how it is. You didn't think you would go your whole life without a period where you're yearning for the sweet release, did you? Get real. We're here. It ain't all roses and hoes. All of that is to say, I feel you. I get it. But now I must suggest an alternate path. You know, Gerby doesn't feel this way no mo. This is coming straight from the heart of the black community.
Before Gerby goes in and does his Gerbitish ways, I think there is a step, right? Like, I talk about a lot of negative stuff on my channel. but I'm turning a negative into a positive, right? Like, I'm not just sitting here going, it's all fucked, you're screwed, no matter what. No, we like to have fun. I like to remind you guys, even if it's on a subconscious level, getting into your psyche, that you still got to live your life. You're still going to have fun. It's better to know what's going on and then navigate forward than to not just ignorant. Well, I guess ignorance is bliss, I guess. So maybe just turn this off, go to brunch. But there is like, you could still have fun. Yeah, are you going to retire? I don't know. Am I going to retire? I don't know. But I'm 35. Remember what I said earlier? Dude lost his wife. He's 62. You could plan as much as you want. But let's bring back a healthy level of winging it, and let's not forget about brunch. Never forget about brunch. Chicken and waffles. Actually, I'm more of an Eggs Benedict guy. I can't eat that. That'll mess my stomach up.
You are experiencing, when you frame it as a sort of logical, rational decision that maybe giving up is better, I would posit this is not logical or rational at all, but quite emotional.
Yeah.
And here's why. First, I got to get the corny stuff out of the way. When you say, why put all that effort in when it probably won't even be that satisfying anyways, maybe sometimes the best solution really is to just give up. The way this is framed is peculiar.
Bit odd.
The reward itself, the goal being completed, it provides some satisfaction, but it's very transient. Of course, the actual fulfillment comes in the effort itself. So when you say, why put all...
That's what I was saying. I don't want to get all like, gay, but it really is the journey. And I'm going to keep cutting them off because it's part of the journey. Sometimes when you're on the road, you're going to get cut off. Okay, that's what I'm doing here. I think back to my original goal in life, right? My mission was I was like, I want to be a pro skateboarder. It never happened, but I did end up in a magazine. I made a lot of friends. I traveled all over the United States. I've slept in cars. I've had sex with women. I don't even know their names. I'm just kidding. I know their names. My point is it wasn't about becoming a pro skateboarder. Now that I look back at it. And those were some of the fondest times in my life. Was just going out and we're going on these missions to become this thing. And it really was, and a lot of people go, really, that's why I say people like peaked in high school, I don't believe in that. You just haven't found some new kind of mission. And it really is only about the mission, though. Like, even what I'm doing here, like, I made it because I got a plaque. No, dude. I just wanted to make enough money talking on the internet, right? And that wasn't even my real goal in life. People told me, you're kind of funny, dude. You should be doing something on TV. And I said, okay, I'll try it out. And it took me forever. But getting here, the amount of things I've done, people I've met, and even this right here, this moment, just talking to you through a screen. What's up? How are you? It's the ride. It doesn't matter. There's no more. Where am I supposed to go? 1 million subscribers? What is that going to do? What is that going to do? Is my point. What is going to happen when you do achieve this thing? It's not really about that. So you also have to think about that in your life too. When you do get to this place, are you that excited to keep going after that? Because you have to keep going after that. You know what I mean? Man, get some hobbies, dude. Go to the gym. That's got a good point. Anyways, just wanted to say that though. It really is. It's the ride, dude.
All that effort in when it won't be that satisfying. The effort is the satisfaction. Do you play a game to beat the game or to play the game and enjoy the game? When you are locked in,
thank you.
It feels great. And this type of hard work is its own reward. I told you it would be corny. That's basically just saying it's not about the destination but the journey. When you were expressing this why do anything, and this walking in between sort of life and death, not really caring. What you are experiencing is apathy. And what I think should be understood about apathy is that it is merely a cover for fear, for being scared.
Fear, false evidence appearing real. AA.
Maybe the best solution really is to just give up. When you say give up, you're not talking about just lying down and rotting, nor are you talking about directly ending your life. Because you're not describing a genuine desire for annihilation, you're just describing apathy. So what does giving up look like then? In the context of young men today, what it looks like is not doing anything, sitting at home, smoking, interacting with new media, gooning, gaming, watching shows, constantly coping, constantly seeking escapism. So what you're doing when you do that,
I gotta keep cutting them off, man. Hard left turn here. I'll bust a Yui real quick. When I see, like, for instance, me, right? I had given up at one point. But what giving up looked like to me was just accepting defeat. Like, okay, I'm not going to be a pro skateboarder. I was trying out the YouTube thing. I was doing skits. I was doing stand-up comedy. I was doing all types of shit, right? And just because I didn't make it in a 2-year period, I gave up. I settled, more like. I was just bartending. I said, oh, I guess I'll just sell used goods on eBay. Something that was fun. It was fun. It was cool. Hunting cool items like things behind me and flipping them for a profit, right? Or like this shirt, link down below, the Caddy Daddy Classic. Like if I were, thanks to everybody who bought one, they are in the mail. I was out of town for a week. But like, for instance, if I were to found this shirt, you know, out in the wild, and it's a 20-year-old shirt, I'd get stoked up because one, I like it, and two, you know, maybe I make $50 off it. It's like the thrill of the hunt, and also you get a reward for it. But when I really gave up, I was just kind of just settled for a job I hated. And unfortunately, that's most people. And they might think about it for a long time, like, I got to get out of here. But eventually, they give up, and they just stay there. And then TV, our phones, you know, sex, weed, alcohol, or even little pills kind of fill in the void, and you just kind of get used to it. That's what I look at as giving up. Not that I really care. I'm not judging you, or I'm not saying like you suck or anything. I'm saying for me, that's what it was. And then I realized one day, I said, okay, I'd rather just keep going because that's where I had the fun. Back to the skateboarding. I still skate till this day. Just rolled my ankle. I'm getting older, baby. But I kept skateboarding, and I looked at it like, you know what? That gave me some kind of a purpose, if you would say, like something to really look forward to. And that goes for the YouTube stuff and everything too. It's something for me to look forward to. Even if I wasn't making any money off of it, it was still something that I could get a little geeky about. Just get a little kooked out, and really forget about the world and enjoy something, and not really think so much about where it is I'm going, but more what I'm doing. If that makes any sense. Anyways, back to the 20-year-old who seems to be smarter than me.
When you goon, when you watch shows, when you play games, is you are merely artificially simulating this same sense of journey, progress, and reward.
Yeah, you are.
Your mind still produces the chemicals to like it. That's still what your heart desires. It's still what you're made to do. The reason why you're attempting to do it in the real world is because you have fear, and then the apathy covers for the fear. Now, this is just me weighing in here. But if this was not an emotional response, if this was a logical response not made out of fear, it would not manifest in
fear, false evidence appearing real. Johnny Woo.
This way. It would not express itself in compulsive and constant escapism. If you were genuinely neutral about this kind of thing, you would say, well, I might fail it might not mean anything, but fuck it, we ball, I'm just going to do it. I'm not dependent on the outcome to justify me doing it, because I'm not doing it. Practically all I'm doing is seeking cheap alternatives to actually doing it. You could smoke weed, goon 100 times to the finest isekai in town, beat 100 games, none of it will come close to trying and failing to actually manifest something in the real natural world. I would go as far as to say it's a verifiable fact that constant escapism in no way will make you happy. You just continue running from these things. They're not solved. It's called repressive coping. So
he's got a really great point. Something that happened to me directly, right? So this is going to be, if you're somebody who likes to, take a hit once in a while or every day, or take a nap once a day just to wake and bake twice. You smoke weed every day, or you drink every day. I used to be that guy, right? Hence the skateboarding, right? But I remember at one point when I did give up, the only thing I really looked forward to was that joint at the end of the night, or the three of them, more like it, right? That was the only thing I really looked forward to. But what happened is I'm going somewhere with this. Before we get into the comments, wind this down. What happened is I made a decision to just quit it all. I was like, I'm not going out. I'm not going partying anymore, right? What partying, just going out with chicks and friends and stuff and smoking weed and drinking, right? I don't mean like going crazy. Sometimes we would. But when I stopped all of that, no more weed, no more any of that stuff, it actually forced me to start doing things. Because I needed to fill the void in another way besides a TV show or food or alcohol or weed. And it actually worked. It really did. Because I suffocated those things that were keeping me chill, keeping me from giving up. It made me, and I'm actually afraid till this day to smoke weed. Like I smoked weed like 4 or 5 months ago, and I was just so paranoid. I was like, my life is over. I'm going to go back to being a loser. And not like your definition of a loser, but how I felt about myself. Although it's the stupidest thing to even think that way. It's like, are you enjoying your life? That's all that really actually matters. I think at the end of everything is like, am I somewhat enjoying this, right? Money aside, all that aside, that's really what it comes down to. Anyways, I'm going to finish this video without you guys, just to give you some, a reason to go over and finish him out, but because I guarantee you the rest of it's really good. But yeah, this doomer mentality thing, you are what you think about, right? I like to look at this stuff because I like to know, I'm the kind of guy to go, is the sun really that far away, or is it right here? I'm that kind of guy. I like to ask questions. I enjoy it. I like to look at the stuff and kind of how people, like TV shows, murder. Everything's about murder. Everyone's just getting killed. People have this fascination with it, right? I like that about real life and things that are going on. And so I like to see this kind of stuff. And I go, okay, well, I'm not just going to walk around town talking about this, so I'm just going to turn it into this. And now I make an income for myself, and I get to have the conversation where I fill a void in my life. So after this, I can go to brunch and joke around about anything. And then when I'm with my girlfriend, we could talk about anything else besides the economy and people being upset and car payments and why people can't have sex, right? So just to kind of paint you a picture on filling this thing. Okay, here we go. This guy goes, it's so weird being in my mid-30s. Hey, welcome to the club. Looking at someone who looks like a younger me express the same sentiments and complaints I did, making similar connections that he did, which ultimately led to life-changing decisions I made. If I could talk to that person again, I tell him how much worse things will be if he doesn't try. Yeah, that's a big one, man. Unfortunately, the giving up thing. It's not that people give up. It's just you get complacent and you have other things to fill. When you have so many options to fill that journey void, it's an easy thing to get stuck with. And then everybody else is doing it, right? This is probably your most important video, hands down. Yeah, this guy, he rarely posts, so when he does, I'm like, I get stoked, because just a young kid. I like seeing the young kids who, they get it, because Gen Z can get a bad rap, and I'm like, dude, I know some of these kids, and they're just playing the game different. And some of them are, little doomer generation, but a lot of them are not. I never comment on anything. I am stuck in that really shitty loop of mostly watching YouTube videos to distract myself. But I want to let you know, dog, you're literally the only YouTuber I instantly click on. Well, yeah, he makes you feel good. He lets you know somebody else understands. And hopefully you don't feel that way forever. Sometimes you have to go into the negative. Sometimes you have to go into a dark hole before you go, fuck it, I'm over this. Sometimes that's necessary. All right, here we go. I given up on things of the world. I desire things of heaven. Yeah, classic. God won't come to save us, unfortunately. Or at least I don't think he will. Never mind. I don't know anything. The African American community has your back. That was just funny. All right. Let's see if we can get one more comment here. I gotta disagree with you here, Gerbert. Young millennial here, if that matters. If I could go back and tell myself anything, it would be stay a virgin. What? The pressure to chase after women like they're the dwindling resource will not be worth it. Stay a virgin and stay in church. Finally, getting an actually serious, attractive, normal woman, and I am almost getting to the finish line, and then not getting it is worse. Feeling like you're about to have your own little American dream come true, like me, then getting it all pulled out from under you for bullshit reasons. One of them being my fiance's sister kept on teasing her about my height. Okay, dude. Is way more traumatic than I had tried all the... Okay, dude. Well, I don't know where that guy is going. Gerbert's pretty on point. He's saying don't get caught in the doomer mindset. That's where he's going at with this whole thing. I'll let you guys finish that video out. Jesus, dude. I'm going to finish him out. I guarantee you he's going somewhere probably positive with that. Because he's doing that whether he knows it or not. He's turning these negative thoughts that he's having into something positive. He's not just keeping them bottled in, right? Like what I'm doing here. I'm not going to re-explain it, but you take the negative, you take the bullshit, you look at it for what it is, and you go, what am I going to do with it? What am I going to do about that? And some people just do nothing. Anyways, take a hit, metaphorically speaking. Enjoy your Saturday. Leave your thoughts. Thanks to everybody who bought a shirt. Also, if you want to invest in yourself, I do work with a gold company, Atlas Bullion. That's the wrong piece of gold. Anyways, they ship you gold every month to your house, like a subscription-based, dollar cost averaging if you want to invest in yourselves. Gerber Johnson, everybody. God, going to brunch, man. Eggs Benny. I saw the hot sauce with that shit. Yeah. Unreal.